Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day before starting the video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for Thursday, June 12th, 2025. It shows Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, connecting with Ava Jerome, Maura West. The judge makes a decision in Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, and Willow Tate Corinthos's Caitlin McMullen custody case. Plus, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, becomes alarmed. Let's begin with Cody, who is working with Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, on a scheme. Cody manages to return Ava's sunglasses and will put on the charm. It seemingly works as Ava gives Cody an invitation when he returns her sunglasses. It seems like this is going to be an interesting storyline as both Cody and Ava talk about how they enjoy challenges. Over with Christina, she will talk to Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn. In a preview clip, Christina tells her mother that an opportunity dropped in her lap and she needed to take it. However, Alexis will try to swallow her panic as she wonders how her daughter is making things worse with Ava once again. General Hospital. Spoilers reveal that Natalia Ramirez, Eva LaRue, will meet with Sonny. Natalia tells her former flame that she's in big trouble, and so is he. That is when Natalia will tell the mob boss about her arrest and ADA Justine Turner's, Nazneen contractor, asking questions about him. Fans will also see Elizabeth, Liz Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, take on a patient. Liz will also accept an offer on one condition. Laura Collins, Jeannie Francis, is sure that she can convince someone of something. Meanwhile, Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, has a confession. Perhaps Rick will tell Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, that he heard Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, target Wiley Corinthos, Viren Weaver. It was a pretty disgusting move on Drew to make to target an innocent child like that, then to lie right to Willow's face. Plus, Willow and Michael learn the judge's decision in the custody case. It's looking like Michael is going to get the kids. It was teased that someone blackmails the judge, but Matheson wrote in a comment on Instagram that the blackmailer isn't his character. So, I wonder if this could have been Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott. There is also how Willow reacts when she loses her children. Port Charles was anything but quiet on June 12th. As the action heated up both in and out of the courtroom. With mounting tensions between Ava and Sonny, a shocking twist in the custody case, and Carly watching from the sidelines with growing suspicion, viewers were treated to a roller coaster of emotions. Let's dive into what went down and what it all means moving forward. Ava's flirtation game, dangerous or strategic? It started with a smirk and a well-placed compliment. Ava Jerome isn't known for being subtle, and today, she doubled down on that reputation. After their brief and chilly co-parenting chat about Avery, Ava made a move that stunned even Sonny Corinthos. While Sonny was seated at the Metro Court bar, trying to distract himself from the chaos erupting in his personal life, Ava strolled in, all glam and mystery. With her perfectly timed entrance, she leaned into him with a laugh, touching his arm with just enough familiarity to make heads turn. At first glance, it looked like harmless flirtation. But was it? Ava coyly brought up how lonely things have been since Nicholas disappeared again, and how some people don't know how to appreciate the finer things in life. She emphasized the word people, casting Sonny a meaningful look. He raised an eyebrow, visibly uncomfortable, but not entirely immune to her charm. This could easily be Ava reverting to old patterns, but Carly, who witnessed the interaction from afar, isn't buying it. She later confided in Diane that Ava's charm offensive is less about seduction and more about strategy. She's up to something, Carly said. Ava always plays long games, and Sonny's the perfect pawn when his guard is down. So, is Ava trying to cozy up to Sonny romantically? Or is she manipulating his protectiveness for her own mysterious ends? Courtroom chaos. A judge's stunning custody ruling. Meanwhile, at the Port Charles courthouse, Drew Kane arrived ready for battle. Smug, confident, and certain that his campaign to win full custody of Scout was a lock. He had public opinion on his side, had worked to paint Sam as an unstable parent due to her proximity to Jason Morgan, and had even thrown in a few choice jabs about Dante's alleged complicity in Jason's criminal lifestyle. Sam, flanked by Alexis and Diane, sat stoically through the proceedings, though her hands clenched the arms of her chair with white-knuckled anxiety. Dante tried to calm her down, whispering words of encouragement. As the judge reviewed the final statements, the courtroom held its breath. Then came the shocker. "In the interest of the child's well-being," the judge declared, "this court finds that shared custody is in Scout Kane's best interest. However, in light of recent attempts to manipulate the court through media, influence, and personal attacks, I am temporarily awarding primary custody to Samantha McCall. Mr. Kane is granted liberal visitation and will be re-evaluated in 90 days. Gasps filled the room. Drew's jaw clenched. Sam burst into tears of relief, and Alexis shot a victorious glance toward the other side of the courtroom. But it was what the judge said next that truly shook things up. This court has also reviewed recent allegations of witness intimidation tied to the campaign of Mr. Kane. If proven, this court reserves the right to alter custody terms and involve the Department of Child and Family Services." Was Drew trying to intimidate Sam's supporters behind the scenes? The implications are damning, and could cost him not just custody, but his political future. Sonny alarmed. By a cryptic message back at Pizzulo's, Sonny was reviewing security footage from one of his warehouses, attempting to stay ahead of the mysterious new player shaking up the Port Charles crime scene. Brick had sent word that a few of Sonny's offshore accounts had been accessed without authorization, a major red flag. But what truly startled Sonny wasn't financial. It was personal. A courier dropped off an unmarked envelope addressed to Michael Corinthos. When Sonny opened it, expecting some political blackmail aimed at his son, he found something much more unsettling: a photo of Avery sleeping in her bed, taken from outside the window. The back of the photo read, "How well do you really protect your children?" Sonny's face turned stone cold. He immediately called Dex, demanding answers. Who could have gotten this close to Avery? Who had the audacity to threaten his daughter? When Ava returned to pick up Avery later that afternoon, Sonny didn't tell her about the photo. Not yet. But his eyes lingered on her a little longer, filled with suspicion. "You changed your security lately?" he asked Ava. "No. Why?" she responded, arching a brow. "Is there something I should know?" Sonny dismissed it with a shake of his head, but his mind was racing. Someone was using Avery to rattle him, and that meant they knew his Achilles heel. Michael pushes back and stuns Willow. Michael was blindsided by the news of the custody ruling in Drew's case. The idea that Drew may have overplayed his hand and even crossed ethical lines left Michael furious. He confronted Drew at Aurora with a bitter edge. "You said you were doing this for Scout," Michael hissed, "but you've made this whole town look at you like a villain." Drew defended his actions, arguing that he was protecting his daughter from Jason and Sam's dangerous world, but Michael wasn't convinced. He made it clear. He's stepping back from supporting Drew's campaign and won't back down if Scout's well-being is compromised again. Later, Willow walked in on their heated conversation, and when Drew left, she asked Michael what he really wanted. "To protect my family," Michael replied, before admitting, "even if that means going up against someone I once called my brother." Jason finds himself drawn into the drama word of the courtroom decision reached Jason by day's end, and he found himself flooded with guilt. Scout was being used as a pawn in a war between her parents, and Jason was the elephant in the room. His very existence was enough to be used as evidence against Sam. He stopped by Sam's place later that night, offering quiet words of support. "I know I'm part of the reason this got so ugly," he said softly. "And if you want me to step back, I will. But Sam, now emotionally raw from the day's events, simply shook her head. "You're not the problem, Jason. Drew is." They shared a tense silence, filled with unspoken words, and a spark neither was ready to explore just yet. What's next? Trouble brewing on all fronts, with Ava's cryptic behavior, Sonny's growing paranoia, and Drew spiraling. Port Charles is heading straight into the eye of the storm. The lines between alliances and rivalries are beginning to blur. Jason, caught between two families, may be forced to take a side he's avoided for far too long. And that threatening message about Avery, that's not going away. If anything, it's only the beginning. One thing's for sure, the people of Port Charles may think they've weathered worse, but June 12th marked a turning point, and the consequences will ripple into every corner of town. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.